Throwback Thursday. Producer Perez, who was your first celebrity crush?
I think it was Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Me too.
Me three. Anyone else? That one's pretty good. All right, Rudy, your first celebrity crush.
I like comic books a lot, so I'd probably say the Joker or the Riddler.
Oh, you like a bad boy. Okay.
What? With the Riddler in his green suit?
Next.
Oh,
like turning
man.
feet red. Oh, Rudy.
Oh, well, yeah. Carlos, your first celebrity crush.
I think it was Paula Abdul. And
Yeah.
it was like 88, 89. And I thought she was like the hottest thing. And then now I see her in arthritis medication commercials. And I went from having a crush to being crushed.
Oh, Carlos, that's a good one. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the Jam. I'm John Hanson, Felicia Lawrence to my left. Well, your left. And to my right is Amy Rutledge. Welcome back, Amy.
Thanks. He was so red there. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Wonderful stuff. All right, let's get it rocking and rolling here. As Hispanic Heritage Month comes to a close, we're going to continue sharing stories from the Latino community right here in Chicago. Deanna Gutierrez now joining us with how one local organization is giving artists in Mexico global reach. Hey, Deanna.
Hey, John, we're talking the finest in custom, handmade Mexican art, fashion, and decor, all accessible online. And of course, with the global pandemic, there were a lot of restrictions when it comes to tourism. So Colores Mexicanos became a lifeline for many artisans.
This design, it's made in San Juan, Colorado, Oaxaca.
We may live in the Windy City, but these pieces of art can transport you all over the world.
This is another from the center of Mexico, Hidalgo and Puebla. The name of this embroidery is Otomitenango, with the bright colors.
In this case, it's Mexico, and it's through Colores Mexicanos, a family business that started out small 3 years ago, mainly selling at local street markets, and now sells arts, crafts, and textiles all over the U.S. and even Europe.
Super important that they know what they are getting. For example, if they take one of these or one dress, one blouse, we want to show you who made this and where is the original town where this piece of art was created.
Pieces include colorful blouses and dresses, table runners and little knickknacks, and most recently, face coverings and masks.
2020 has been very difficult for everybody. COVID-19 has been most difficult for the poor families who made artisan works.
Recent studies show that in 2018, 52 million people living in Mexico were living in poverty on barely $3 a day. Erika Espinosa, the co-founder, says these artists depend on regular sales as their livelihood, and this year, sales have dropped more than 80%.
All the families that make this kind of works, for us it's very beautiful when we see how they are working, but at the same time it's a little sad because they are from the most poverty towns in our country, and this is the only resource that they have to get money. We value the fair trade because our families needs all the income, the most income part that we can provide them.
Now, while the income is needed, there's also hope in preserving their culture.
This kind of work takes more than maybe 6 hours for a face mask. This is a work that belongs to that town for maybe centuries.
Go ahead and follow Colores Mexicanos on Instagram and Facebook. You can purchase items right from their Facebook page, and they also have in-person appointments. So if you want to go in, feel the material, experience it, because guys, it's all about an experience. And I couldn't leave without getting one of these. Look, it's like a whole thing. It's so long, so beautiful.
So that is so pretty. Well, and that's what their story is tough, and 2020 has been tough on everybody. But when you look at the face masks and a lot of their textiles, everything is so bright and cheery. It makes you want to smile. I love the colors.
And we need way more of that right now. Those cheery smiles. Yeah, the colors are
Right?
absolutely beautiful. And just to support a Latina-owned business is important.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much, Deanna.
Thanks, Deanna. Well, guys, it's taken more than a decade, but we're finally getting our first look at what the Michael Reese Hospital development will look like when it finally gets underway, which could be as soon as the start of next year. So the project is expected to break ground next fall. Price tag on this entire project, if it's a 20-year project, $3.8 billion. Can you believe that? It is a massive project. It's slated to include mixed income residential units, a metro station, parkland, senior housing, medical facilities, and then, of course, anchored by the medical center. They have to vote on this in committee next month. It'll go to the full city council before the end of the year. So then again, if the deal's approved, next year we could start seeing progress on this development.
Yeah, so I live in the Bronzeville community and I am paying attention to this for several reasons. It looks like it'll be a lot of great additions to the community, but even the Welcome Center really stands out to me because I'm always talking about how historic this neighborhood is. And we have a few statues and some plaques and some things that I just know from being from Chicago, but we need like a centralized place that people can go to experience Bronzeville and understand the history that's here. And I think that will help drive tourism.
Yeah, I really love that it's a large infrastructure project, not obviously just the hospital, which would be great, but a huge thing. They say that there was originally rumors that a casino might be part of this development, but they're saying that is not in the works. I just wonder, after we've had budget discussions on where we are through all of this, exactly where we're going to end up with the city council votes coming up. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Yep, absolutely.
Normalizing mental health concerns, especially during times like these, is absolutely crucial.
Boy, is it. And mental health advocate Achea Redd joins us now. She's the author of the upcoming book, Authentic You. Achea, you're helping others now. You've had such a journey yourself as well. I think a lot of people, you're married to a basketball star and might think one way about what life is, but you've had a journey yourself too.
Yeah, I have. Well, first off, thank you guys for having me. And I'm just honored to be here with you tonight. But yes, I have had quite the journey. My journey began roughly 4 years ago when I actually received the official diagnosis of an anxiety disorder and major depression. And it was from that point that I started writing about it because I didn't want anybody else to feel as though they were going through these types of things on their own.
I am in therapy right now, and I was talking to one of my girlfriends about how beneficial it could be if she goes. And she said that she was afraid to go because she was afraid of being diagnosed with something. And I'm like, well, you don't even know because you haven't been yet. But what would you say to a person like that?
I mean, first of all, I understand because when I actually switched my treatment from a psychologist and got a psychiatrist, that was my fear. I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to discover something that's even worse than what I thought. And I was very afraid, but I think you have to understand that the reward is going to be greater than that risk. And I would not trade my journey for the world. So I would just encourage them to go ahead and even though you're scared, do it anyway.
I'm someone that has some anxiety as well, as my coworkers know. Talking to you right now in such a calming way is reassuring and certainly inspiring in a way. And Felicia, you mentioned that too. I wanted to ask, about people of color. This is an issue that really does impact them in terms of them trying to be able to reach out and help. Is it that there aren't enough resources for people of color, or that people need to look inside themselves a little bit more and recognize that it's time to seek some help?
I'm so happy you asked that question. I think that there are resources out there, but I think the African American community, we don't know about some of those resources. And additionally to not knowing, some of us don't have the money to pay because a lot of the therapists that are good therapists are not covered, under insurance plans and things of that nature. And I think on the side of maybe self-discovery, in general, when I've talked to a lot of African American men and women, they share their fears about being in therapy or talking to someone about their, what you call air quote, weaknesses, because they already feel as though they're marginalized enough. So they don't want to portray another weakness that would make them seem yet again unqualified to work or unqualified to do this or that. So they keep quiet and they suffer in silence.
Mm. Yeah, that's a really, really important something and really, really strikes the community. I do want to ask, you have so much going on, and I love that you're trying to attack and raise awareness about mental health and so many different platforms. I wanted to talk to you about Real Girls, I guess I'll say FART. What is Real Girls FART, FART?
Yes. So that was actually the blog that I started 4 years ago. And one of the reasons why I call it that is because as women, we tend to hide the things that, we're going through, the things that are not pretty about us, and
Yes.
that word actually is something that we're not allowed to say. So what I decided to do is I said, I'm going to break all the rules. I'm going to go for the gusto and I'm going to say Real Girls Fart because one, we do, and two, because I want to turn it around into something positive. So it stands for fearless, authentic, rescuer, and trailblazer. And those 4 words are very important to me because that was the journey that I went on. And I had to, become fearless and authentic and be, very much a rescuer to other people and blaze the trail to talk about something that we're not talking about that often.
Yeah.
Love
You're
it.
a really inspiring person, and I know I like you for so many reasons, but you also like me. Say air quote even when you're doing air quotes on TV, which I really appreciate. You can follow Achea Redd on social media and on AcheaRedd.com. And don't forget to check out her new book, Authentic You, available November 16th. Pope, over to you.
All right, still ahead, the one thing you need to safely fly the friendly skies this holiday season and get ready for the presidential town hall showdown. Trump versus Biden all at the same time. Chris, are you going to watch any of them?
Oh, Brandon, yeah, I'm ready. I'm going to pour myself a gal. That's what I call a glass of wine right after the show, and I'm ready to flip channels. So here we go. Also, guys, coming up, I'll introduce you to a girl behind this viral video. It's got over 40 million views. Yeah, you don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
Branson Pope here with the news you need to know. Illinois is reporting its highest one-day increase in coronavirus cases since the pandemic began. This is really, really bad. 4,015 new cases were reported today. There were 53 deaths. There are now more than 330,000 cases in the state and over 9,000 different deaths. And don't forget your mask if you're going to be flying this holiday season. The Department of Defense and United Airlines say your risk of exposure to COVID-19 is, quote, virtually non-existent when everybody on the plane is wearing a mask. Last week, the International Air Transport Association, they released new research saying the risk of getting COVID on a plane is in the same category as being struck by lightning. So they're saying it's highly unlikely that flying is going to result in you getting COVID-19, given the protocols that are on these airlines right now. I've had a chance to fly on a plane during this to go home early in the pandemic to see family, and it wasn't that bad. I felt pretty safe.
Yeah, I was a little leery because I know the airlines are involved in that study, also with other organizations. So it's not just the airlines, but I always kind of go, I don't know about that. But I do agree with you, Brandon. It seems to be more safe than we originally thought if you keep your mask on and you wear it properly, right?
Yeah. They said the Department of Defense was one of, along with United Airlines, were the people that put that study on. And I'm like, oof. Unfortunately, how much faith do you have in the government right now? That looks different for everybody. This is certainly concerning news, but I don't know what to say is the right answer.
It was an interesting video to see how they measured it, though, with the particles and how they got spread, and they had different detectors. So yeah, it's interesting science. I'm worried about what's happening in Illinois, across the Midwest, and really across the country. This was nearly a 6% positivity rate, which is pretty much our highest total in a couple months. The death total also tracking on up. I'm worried about rollbacks that we're going to have happening. And guys, it's October 15th. We're just really starting what people predict to be a messy fall and winter. So everyone has to kind of remember not to get lax about things, even though they had been better for a little bit. Tighten up again. Make sure you're doing all the safe things, because we are on a path that we don't want to be on.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. In the political world, President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden are set for a solo town hall tonight after their scheduled debate was canceled. But the problem, they are both at the same exact time on different networks. Trump's going to be in Miami on NBC. Biden's going to be on ABC from Philadelphia. 100 top stars and producers from NBC have signed a letter in protest of NBC's decision to actually hold it at the same time. Meanwhile, some COVID trouble for Biden, for the Biden-Harris crew, as 2 Harris staffers test positive for coronavirus. Harris's campaign travel has been halted as a result. But back to this dueling town halls here. It's going to be tough for voters, I'd imagine, to make a decision on who they're going to pay attention to, and probably not fair to the electorate either.
Oh, spare me this stuff. The embassy people all rallying against this, writing their letters. It's a news organization, right? It's a network. They want to get some viewers. The president brings some eyeballs. The debate was canceled. Joe Biden has an hour. The president should be able to have an hour too. And it's unfortunate at the same time, but you can record it, you can DVR it, you can go back and forth, you can watch it on Twitter, you can get 2 tablets going. Like, we got worse things to complain about. And oh well, I mean, we're gonna figure out a way to see who we want to see.
You said it all right there, John. I mean, people are I think most people already have their mind made up who they want to see, but I would have liked to have seen it at different times.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them debate, but we know that's not going to happen. So let's just move on. B Pope, thanks so much. KG, over to you.
All right, guys, coming up, an incredibly awesome story behind this happy dance that's gotten over 40 million views. Yeah. And we're going to take a quick look at tomorrow's forecast as we head to break. We'll be back after this. All right, so there are a lot of dances that go viral on social media, but this one is special. Kalea was caught on a surveillance camera after a job interview in a parking lot, and she was doing a little happy dance. So we are chatting right now with Dakara and Kalea. I want to hear from Kalea first because Dakara had just interviewed you. You walked out and you didn't even have a definite yes if you got the job.
No, I was happy. She was just like, I may hire you, and the maid was just better for me. I like the maid more than I like no or anything like that. So I went outside and I started dancing because even though she didn't give it to me yet, I already knew I had a really good chance that I might get a job that I needed.
Oh my gosh, you have such good energy. I could hear it now. I saw it in your dance. Dakara, I want to ask you what's going through your head when you're interviewing Kalea. Did you know you were going to hire her before you even saw the happy dance?
Yeah, I knew I was gonna hire her regardless because it takes a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? It takes a lot of heart to come into an interview with slippers and a scarf on. Not everybody would do that. So that right there showed me that she's willing to work and she's willing to just give her all because, like I said, you can't nobody take care of themselves if they don't have any money.
Kalea, you were going through some tough times. I mean, Dakara said you walked in slippers. Tell us a little bit about your story.
I was homeless for 2 years. I've been bouncing from house to house to house for at least almost 3 years, and it's been hard. I had a lot of anxiety attacks, depression attacks. It was I was down on myself. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was trying to isolate myself, and I was being discouraged and very, let's just say hopeless.
I think a lot of us can relate to having a happy dance or a little celebration when we think we're going to get a job, but after hearing your story, it's like, yes, this makes so much sense. Okay, ladies, you have a reason to do another happy dance because you were on Ellen this week and some good stuff went down. Tell us about that.
Yes. I don't know. It was a great feeling to be on the Ellen show. A lot of opportunities that opened up since we've been on the show. But I'm just happy I had the opportunity to help somebody that was in need because just like Clay, I was also homeless. And it always feels good to give back because you never know who needs help. And like I said previously before, my parents, my mother, father, and my grandmother always said to never judge nobody because that could be you. You could be in their shoes one day. So it's always good to return the favor.
It's words to live by, for sure. I want to ask you guys, will you join me in a little happy dance right now? I know we're all seated in our little work from home setup, but I think we deserve it. Can we do it?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm going to channel Kalea. I'm moving my seat out. Give me some tips, Kalea. What can I do better? Is it
Okay, so you really go like you move up, and then you go to like right here.
Okay. So I'm up, and then I go right here.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, so pretty out tonight.
Hey, did you guys hear about the bacon masks?
Are you joining us, or are you just going to kind of hang out?
Where were you?
Stuff anyway. I was just getting the football. I wanted to toss it around, get some energy going, guys.
But yes, the bacon masks. Do you wear them and they smell like bacon?
Get it, Felicia.
Okay.
Amy!
Wrong way. Yeah, we're not good at this, Chad. We're not good at this at all. Yeah, the bacon masks, as you brought them up, they smell like bacon. I don't know if I would like that.
I'd vomit. It'd smell like vomit right afterwards. That's too much.
Yeah,
bacon.
it would make me hungry all day.
What?
They smell like bacon all day in your face, up your
It'll
nose.
be bacon and your hot breath. That's not a good combination.
Yeah. No. Hey, so we're going to talk about something that does smell good. Candy, lots of it. What are you going to do about Halloween? You can't go trick-or-treating everywhere. We're going to find out when we come back a little bit. I need candy.
I've been eating so much candy by myself. Who needs Halloween? Look at how pretty our city is, guys.
So pretty.
It's cold. I'll tell you more in a bit. Hello. It's Thursday night. We're having a blast on the Jam. Felicia Lawrence, Amy Rutledge, all in the house. And guys, it got chilly, if you didn't notice, outside today.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least we had some sun. It wasn't actually too bad. But tonight, we've had some areas that have already had their frost, but a lot of areas haven't. And there's a frost warning for everybody tonight, except for Chicago. So we're okay. My plants on the balcony will do okay for another couple days. Temperatures in the morning, I think 37 is warmer than we're going to get in some of the suburbs. That's the O'Hare reading. I think some of the areas are going to be in the upper 20s, low 30s. It does remind me as I come back here to my room, it's so funny. I'm so bad at taking care of plants that even this one here behind me that is fake, my fake one looks like it's dying. So I don't even know what I can do to. Is this better? Like I'm trying to make this thing. It looks so droopy.
Yeah, like that.
It looks
no,
droopy.
the other way.
It's so sad.
John, you look droopy.
I killed my fake plant, guys. Okay.
All right, guys. As Hispanic Heritage Month comes to a close, we're going to continue to share the stories of those making an impact in Chicago's Latino community. Diana Gutierrez is here now with how one local organization is giving artists in Mexico a global reach. Steve.
Hey, Amy, thanks so much. Colores Mexicanos is a local organization aiming to keep Mexican artisans employed and well paid, while preserving the cultures of cities like Oaxaca, Puebla, Hidalgo, many more to name here. Colores Mexicanos' co-founder, Erika Espinosa, started the small family business in Chicago, and now it's selling all over the United States and even parts of Europe. While this family is trying to preserve the beautiful and meaningful patterns in this work, they're also trying to make sure that artisans in Mexico can survive. Sales this year dropped about 80%, putting the artisan's livelihood at risk. Espinosa says her mission is to spark curiosity and also support for other cultures.
I think all the artisans made incredible piece of arts, but in special our families, our partner families, they come from the most poverty towns in our country, and they deserve that their work be shown to all the world, to different countries, to different cities, out of the communities where this was created.
You can go ahead and follow Colores Mexicanos on Instagram and Facebook. You can purchase items right off their Facebook page. Their website is linked on there too. And really cool, they do also host in-person appointments, so you can go ahead and try on the clothes, check out all the pieces, all the beautiful pieces in person. Felicia?
Beautiful, beautiful. Happy Halloween! At least that's what the Park District, the mayor, and CPD are saying. October 26th through the 31st. They are spending this entire week rolling out a complete safety plan for everyone who's looking to celebrate. And part of that includes a Halloween parade. And of course, they got some more options to trick or treat safely. But the parade is really cool. I just looked it up. It's going to be at Washington Park from 12 to 3 on October 31st. And they've done it differently. It's at Washington Park, which is a good one, because they want you to drive by. So all the entertainment, everything that you would normally see at a parade will be stationary, and you can register to drive on by. So it's pretty cool that they are making changes because of COVID, everything that's going on.
Yeah, it's so cute because if you guys remember, last year it was snowing, it was freezing out, so that kind of stunk on Halloween. So my little guys, like last year was their first year actually going trick-or-treating. This year I got all excited, and now we really can't do much, and I'm still dressing them up, but I'm like, for the kids, Halloween is such a big deal, and so it's like hard, we got to do something. Like even Henry was like, I don't even know what I want to be because who cares? And I'm so sad. I want him to be happy and still look forward to it.
Oh, we care, Henry. We care.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of on Team Henry this year. And as an adult without kids, I think Halloween is taking lesser and lesser important. Let me preface what I'm about to say and saying I'm happy for the kids. That's awesome. They should enjoy it. I liked it when I was a kid. I'm having a hard time getting into spooky season. I think life is spooky enough out the window. So I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit down this year, but something like this, maybe some cute pictures of kids in their costumes and stuff will turn me around.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and hey, you know what? That's not it. We've got some other ideas too, because some suburban communities are recommending Halloween festivities be skipped altogether this year. They're not doing what the city of Chicago is doing. So if you aren't trick-or-treating, lifestyle and parenting blogger Cheryl Leahy is here to tell us what we can do. And I know, Cheryl, what I plan on doing is getting my kids at least dressed up, and maybe at least I'll fill buckets of candy, but I kind of want it to be a little more festive than that. So give me an idea.
Okay, you know what? You can still throw a socially distant party with small gatherings of people, just your family. Make it work. Be smart about it. So the first thing, okay, do you guys remember that a party meant a bowl of chips and some dip, and that was your party? Yeah, that can't happen anymore. That is not part of COVID-friendly party practices, guys. So what I did, I went to Goodwill and I found this little tree and I spray painted it black. And so this is my treat. Okay, so I have these little pumpkin bags of goldfish crackers that kids can just take off the treat tree, and they're not digging into a huge bowl of goldfish. And then I also have, I love that Go-Go Squeeze did these little Halloween packaging, so I don't have to decorate them at all. So you can put these on, they're healthy, on-the-go snacks. And I love that they're pantry friendly. So I stock up on these and keep these in my pantry long after the Halloween parties. And if your kids are like mine, my 9-year-old will take down one of these go-go squeeze things in 2 seconds flat. So they have the bigger ones. These are the big squeeze. They have a half cup of fruit in there. And then there's also, I know, right? Because my kid will eat literally 3 of them.
Mine
so,
too.
And then yours, right? I do too. Yeah. Yeah, that's my go-to snack. And then this one is a newer one as well. It's Happy Tummies that has some fiber in it and makes it a little bit more healthy treat. So these are all very socially distant friendly snacks right here that you can have for your party. And it's not a bowl of something that kids are licking their hands and, you know, going into the bowl of chips.
So what do we do with them if we get them together? Because like you'd have to hope that all these houses are going to participate or do something. But if they're not, do you get your friends together? Do you do like a scavenger hunt in your backyard? Like what do you do so they have something to do in their costumes?
Yeah, so my thing is I'm doing a party outside. I'm having a bonfire. I'm having a little movie screening, and we're having a party with family. So I'm expecting the parents to really control their kids. I'm not having an influx of children unsupervised here. I want one parent per child to make sure that they're keeping their mask on, maintaining their social distance, and keeping out of each other's spaces. So what I also have is a really fun ice cream treat. So these are monster ice cream sundaes, and each family gets their own pint of ice cream. So you get a little pint of ice cream and then give each family some toppings. And I found this night food ice cream that has a little bit less sugar in it, and it has this cute monster packaging. I don't know, I liked it. So get some gummy eyeballs to put in your monster ice cream sundae. And then my lovely neighbor next door makes homemade raspberry jam. So it's like monster blood, right? So it's a perfect fun thing. And then I know you said scavenger hunt. I really like that. It's just tough when you have, I don't know, you just kind of want to keep all the kids. I like keeping them in one spot so I know they're not in each other's spaces. So I found a few great Halloween crafts. I found this website called Happy Camper Live. My kids totally skipped summer camp this year, and Happy Camper Live has hundreds of activities for kids to do at home. It helps with their passions and skills, and they had some really great free Halloween crafts. So this one is a cute little lantern, and this is just a spaghetti sauce jar.
So cute.
Right? I mean, I'll bust that out every year. And then this one, you can just have Elmer's glue and little pieces of tissue paper. And they also have these monster bookmarks that you can make. And I love these for kids of every age. I mean, all you have to do is put out the materials and let them go to town. Doesn't matter if they look good or not so good.
That is so cute. Cheryl, I wish we had more time. I love these ideas because you got to do something fun to have the kids really enjoy the holiday. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. For more information, follow Cheryl on Instagram at CJAllDressedUp and online at alldressedup.com. John.
I love how that logo is her pouring a glass of wine like after she helps all the kids have so much fun. She's like, where's that big old glass? I love Cheryl. She makes everything look so cool. Okay, Halloween. It's a time to dress up the kiddos, as we've been talking about. And against their better judgment, Americans love dressing up their fur babies too, to the tune of $500 million spent on costumes for animals. Here are some of the most popular ones that we're going to show you. A pumpkin comes out on top. Whoa, original. A hot dog is number 2. Get it? Because dogs are hot dogs, and that's a name for something. There's a superhero. That's number 3. For some reason, people like to dress up their dogs as cats. I don't get that. I don't get all of this. I don't get any of this. But that's a thing.
The hot dog. I love it.
Do you though, Felicia? Do you really?
Yes, I do.
Well, they broke it down into states that you were allegedly more people do this or are interested in doing it this year. Like the Dakotas are really into it this year. They have nothing else going on, I guess. Colorado, West Virginia, New Hampshire. That's based on Google searches. But we do have some pics of our wonderful staffers doing it. Or Deanna, I know you love. We just were talking about this offline.
Yeah.
Deanna, do you have it here?
Oh my gosh.
So she is a reindeer ballerina, as you can see. This little tutu
reindeer ballerina.
We're original here. She also has the bling. Now let's show them your necklace. Look at this.
Does she know she's a rainbow ballerina?
Oh,
reindeer.
Are you kidding me? Can you fix yourself, please? Okay, it looks like I'm choking her. There she is.
Yeah. There's Barb. Oh, look at that. Indy. I bet that's
Yeah.
Alicia's cat. I'm going to go on.
I bet-
Oh, and
look,
there's Trella.
Trella.
Boy, I wish I would have known that our boss did it before I bashed all the people that were doing it. And there's
Oh,
Nala.
there she was. Yep, last year.
Oh, this is
so
cute.
So
Is that
cute.
Alicia's other cat?
Okay. It's cute.
Oh,
It's not my
Mom
thing,
is
but it is
literally
cute.
staring at us.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm getting turned around here. All right, we'll be back after this.
Let's never stop this. Don't stop it.
News you need to know. I'm Brandon Pope. A Senate Judiciary Committee vote has been set for October 22nd for the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett. After that, it'll head to the Senate for a full vote. Tony Preckwinkle's 2021 pandemic budget plan looks to dip into the Cook County Reserve Fund to help plug a $409 million hole and prevent devastating job cuts and tax increases. And it's census crunch time after a Supreme Court ruling capped the deadline to 5 a.m. tomorrow. Officials say only 60% of Chicagoans have completed it, and workers are doing everything they can in these last few hours to get people in.
And so when we aren't receiving our fair share, that means that we don't have enough money for schools, for social service programs, for libraries, for infrastructure. Literally everything that we use every day is impacted by census data. And so that's number one why it's important. It's also important because it helps guide our political representation.
And lots of Eddie Johnson news. Tribune reporting at least 5 CPD officers, including a commander, face suspension over their role in the reported drunken incident with the former superintendent where he was found asleep at the wheel in his city-issued SUV. But the big bombshell here, Eddie Johnson is being sued for sexual assault by his former driver, an officer who was with him on that night. Officer Cynthia Donald says Johnson raped and abused her for more than 3 years, dangling her job and promotions in front of her. She also says he destroyed evidence of the abuse on his cell phone when the Inspector General launched an investigation. This just takes an already unfortunate scenario and makes it even worse. And it makes you question, when you look at the lawsuit, there's reports of Johnson having alcohol in his office and doing this for a repeated pattern. Who knew about this if this really happened, and for how long did they know? It's really alarming that this could happen in CPD.
There are allegations that she is not the only person that he has at least put some sense of power over, dangling job advancements, as you mentioned. Also, we're hearing, at least in the lawsuit, again, this is all alleged in a lawsuit, he destroyed evidence on his phone and on her phone that she had left in her office on her desk. So that is all being investigated too. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of this, because these are really damning allegations.
Yeah, these are serious. The plot thickens; it gets thicker and thicker. Right now, it's just really her word against his. So I am interested to see what other details could come out. It feels a little far fetched, but I guess not. I will say it clearly deserves an investigation. But if there is any chance that she is stretching the truth, or it's untrue, or anything like that, there should be a penalty against her, because, as you mentioned, damning allegations for sure.
Well, I will say this really quick, Felicia. When this all came out, and he retired, and then Lightfoot came out, a long time ago. Even then, we were like, "There's no way this is true," and it kept getting worse and getting worse and getting worse. So we got to let the investigation play out, because I was surprised when all this started how it was unfolding.
That's true.
Yeah, just an unfortunate situation all around.
Yeah, thanks so much, Brandon. We appreciate it. All right, we'll be back right after this.
Well, most people have it, and a lot of people might not fully understand it. I'm talking about insurance. Home, auto, life, renters, it goes on, and it can all get very overwhelming. That's why I'm talking to Martin Joseph from Northwest Insurance to break it all down. Martin, what is high value home insurance, and who needs it? Hey, Martin, can you hear me?
I sure can. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being here to break this down for us. What's high volume home insurance, and who exactly needs it?
Well, everybody needs home insurance. Anybody who owns a home, I should say.
And so what about high value home insurance? Is that a particular kind of insurance that folks need? Does it mean that if your home is valued at a higher price that you should be getting that?
Well, the home insurance is valued much different than market value, or what you pay for a home on the marketplace. Homes are valued by what we call replacement cost, which is what it would cost to rebuild the home from the foundation up. So that a home could be in one section of the city and, let's say, be worth $200,000, and in another section of the city may only be worth $100,000. But if both homes burn to the ground or in a total loss, they both would cost the same amount to rebuild, or the replacement cost would be the same.
And then what about your credit? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought up home insurance and auto insurance. The rates are fairly figured complex. It's people don't understand. that there's several factors that figure into your rates. One is your credit rating, and it can be a big effect. As much as 50% of your rate could be based on your credit rating. Now, insurance companies don't do a credit score, they do a soft hit, but they're looking for things like charge-off accounts, bankruptcies, liens, judgments, foreclosures, such as that. They get a general score. Also, your prior insurance has a giant effect on both your auto and your home insurance. The longer you're with the same carrier, the better rate you're going to get when you finally do look to switch insurance. Consumers who jump from company to company to save a few dollars, it really ends up hurting them in the long run, in that they don't have enough past history with one company. And the carriers don't like that, and they'll put you in a higher tier than if someone who's been with their past company for over 3 to 5 to 7 years.
And I'm glad you explained that, because I wasn't aware that the credit score can really impact like that.
Yeah.
What about going for the cheapest options, those bare bones carriers? We see them advertised on TV sometimes. Can that affect your rates when you switch insurance providers?
Absolutely. Not only do carriers, especially preferred carriers, look at how long you've been insured and with what company, and also your limits of liability on auto insurance. If a lot of what you see are carriers that only write minimum limits, we call them the bare bones companies. They write minimum limit coverage. They give rates are very low, but they also give very minimal service in the event of a loss.
And we have a few.
Go ahead. These are the companies who do try to get out of paying claims.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I know we're working through some technology there as always, but this is really good information, folks, the things that people need to know about. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for talking to me.
Yes. Okay. Learn more about how Northwest Insurance has been protecting families and businesses since 1958 at northwestinsurance.com. Some really good stuff there. Krista.
All right, coming up, I'll have a little look-see at what's been trending tonight. We'll be right back after this. Okay. Here are my top 3 trending stories at the moment. First up, Nicki Minaj, she has a new little man in her life. The rapper took to IG and revealed that her little baby is a boy. She also posted a few photos of some celebratory messages from all of her famous, cool friends, including Beyonce, super cash. And note that Beyonce calls Nicki Minaj by her birth given name, also super cash. I think Beyonce also calls Felicia by her birth given name, Felicia. All right. Next up.
Yes, this is true.
Rhimes. Thank you, Phoebe. Shonda Rhimes' Netflix debut. It is happening, and you are cordially invited. So this show, it's a period drama, and it's called Bridgerton, and it'll follow the competitive world of Regency London high society. Pinkies up. All right, the series will debut on Netflix on December 25th. And finally, fans are speculating what could be a super Spidey crossover. So it's rumored that Spider-Man 3 may feature Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. And a close source says that the actors have signed on to hop back in those Spidey suits next to Tom Holland as Peter Parker to help establish the live-action Spider-Verse. B. Pope, I have a feeling you're geeking out about this. Can you confirm or deny?
Wow.
I mean, it's a big deal if it's true. I don't think it is going to happen, but I mean,
You don't
getting
think so?
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield together, Sony's already pretty much shot it down. But, you know, I think this would be awesome to see this really happen in real life. I just don't see it.
If Tobey Maguire is going to do it again, it's going to be worthwhile. I've seen all the recent Spider-Man movies. I'll be there.
What does he
I'm
look
a Tobey
like
Maguire fan too.
What does he
doesn't
look
much
like
different.
now?
He's just a little
though?
older.
Is he in shape? Is he in shape? Can he do this?
I bet if you're gonna offer him $12 million for a movie, he'll get himself in shape.
Come up with new superheroes at some point. How many Batman movies do we need? How many Spider-Man movies do we need? There's got to be new superheroes coming up. There's got to be
Get
more.
off my lawn, John.
I know, yeah, a little bit. You're right. Okay, sorry. Have a good day, everyone.